Hey, it's Joe Crump. I got another video here for you. Another question. This is from David Ansab in Santa Monica, California. David says, I live in California where the home values have dropped more than 30%, in some places 40%. I love your for rent method, but I don't understand how it can work in this kind of market, this kind of high-end market with dramatic values drops. The only way it would work here is if you can sell it for way more than it's worth. Can you sell a home for more than it's worth if you sell it rent to buy? Well, the answer is absolutely yes. I've got a student who just finished his second deal. His name is Arrow, and he put together a deal that its current market value was $200,000. It had a mortgage on it of $279,000, and he sold that property for $279,000 plus a $10,000 lease option fee. So he got $289,000 for a property. He got $10,000 that he put into his pocket, and he has a new buyer on that property who, if they exercise the option, will buy it at the remaining balance of $279,000. In the meantime, they're going to be making payments, rental payments, and he set it up so that it would be a little bit longer period. We typically do 1 or 2 years, sometimes 3-year lease options. He did a 5-year lease option because he felt that that would give it enough time to come up in value so that they could make that work. He didn't have any problem finding a buyer to do that. The seller was very relieved because if they had tried to sell this to the MLS and it was only worth $200,000, they would have ended up getting, having to pay realtor fees and ended up getting about $180,000. They'd be coming to closing with $100,000 in order to sell that property, which they didn't have to do because Arrow bailed him out. He found him a good buyer. The buyer was happy because for $10,000 they were able to get into their own home. They didn't qualify for a regular mortgage. They didn't have enough credit to do that. They did have a good job, so they're a pretty safe bet that they're going to make their payments. They're able to get into the house with a little bit lower payment than it would cost if they paid that full $279,000 with a mortgage, and they're going to be able to call that home their own. So they were excited about it. The seller was excited about it, and of course Arrow was excited as well because he made 10 grand. And this whole deal, I asked him, so how long did it take you to put this whole thing together? And he said, well, maybe 6, 7, 8 hours maximum to put it all together and make $10,000. So he's making, well over $1,000 an hour just doing this type of work. And the better he gets at it, the better you get at it as you start doing this type of thing, the more you'll make per hour because you'll become more efficient with that process. Now, Arrow was one of my mentor students. We walked him through it. He came to the buying event. We did this at the buying event and taught him how to do this process. So when he went home, he was able to make this stuff happen and put these deals together. And now he's off, and I have great hopes for him to have a great business doing this because he understands how it works. Once you do it the first time, your confidence level goes way up, and suddenly it all becomes exciting and possible, and it gives you a lot of new energy to follow through with that process and build it. Once you learn how to start making money at it, then I start teaching you how to automate some of these steps so that you don't have to do as much grunt work, so the job becomes a little bit easier, and that you have a constant stream of leads. You're creating a pipeline of deals that are happening all the time. So you've always got consistent money coming in, which is a very important thing to be able to have a sustainable business. Then the next step he's going to take is he's going to keep properties. I'm going to show him how to keep properties for the long term and be able to build wealth. Because the for rent method and flipping properties only makes you cash, which is great. Everybody wants cash and everybody needs that to build a business. But to be wealthy, to become rich, you have to have assets that are going to work for you, that have to be passive income and that'll work over time. And that's the next step in the process, where we talk about doing some other zero-down structures where you take control of the property and keep them long-term using subject to and multi-mortgage and land contracts and those types of zero-down structures. So, alrighty, good luck. Bye-bye.